The May meeting of the Belleville Area District Library Board has come to order. We will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. As I said, I am trying hard to keep my cold to myself. And we will move forward with the roll call. And we will call upon our secretary. And who is our secretary? Alma. Alma is still our secretary. Okay, all right. Lord, here I'm losing it. Alma?
Fleming,
Here.
Jackson Smith,
Here?
Peters,
Here?
Priest,
Here.
Stoudemire,
Here.
Hughes Grubbs, here, and Jehovah's.
Shevitz, we're it's at this point absent. We will see. I don't know. The agenda, we are at the point of the meeting, the item number 3 is the approval of the agenda. And I would hope all members have had a chance to look it over. And we'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Madam Chair, I motion that we.
Approved by Stoudemire and supported
I'll
by
second it.
Priest, that the agenda be approved. If there are no comments, we'll go ahead and vote on that. All those in favor of approval of the agenda signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed signify by saying nay. There are no negative votes and the agenda is approved. Next, item 4 on our agenda is the approval of the April 8th regular meeting minutes of this board, which are attached to your agenda and attached to your packet. And you all have had a few days in advance to look them over. So I will entertain a motion. Here's Joyce. She is with us. She is not absent.
Madam Chair, I move that we accept the meeting minutes from April 8th, 2025.
It has been moved,
Second.
supported by Stoudemire, moved by Priest, supported by Stoudemire, that the minutes from April 8th, 2025 be approved. And I see people looking at them. If we're ready, we'll move for a vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed by saying nay. There are no negative votes and the minutes have been approved as submitted. Thank you. That's our main business. Now, we have public comments and we do have members of the public with us. Any members of the public here visiting, wishing to say anything to the board? Hi, board. Recognize Danielle has said hello. We're glad to have you here. We're glad to have, could you introduce yourself?
Sure, yeah, my name is Courtney and this is my daughter Tori.
Well, we're glad to have you here.
Yeah, thank you. So we're
Nice to meet you.
thank you.
You're here.
Thank you for having us. And, just, we use the library and we try to understand more about the inner workings of the library.
Well, very good. That's exactly, we are very happy to have you. Welcome.
Thank you.
That takes, and Rosemary, you have anything to share with us?
No, I don't.
I know you know a whole other thing.
Nice.
But I'm sure you'll write them up and we'll all read them and so we'll know what you're thinking. Item 6 is what an exciting topic. Our library short and long-term life and disability insurance. Is that what this is? And I'm going to turn this over to our director, who I'm sure can enlighten us.
Our current plan for life, AD&D insurance and short long-term disability insurance is through the standard. We get that through our affiliation with Michigan Retirement System, MERS. We have been running into problems with them. The 3 times we have used it, we have run into multiple snafus and errors and incorrect amounts being sent and sent to the wrong location and
Oh, no.
decimal place errors and just numerous things. So it's kind of a case of third strike and you're out. So I talked with our insurance agent who also does our healthcare insurance to see what he could propose to us. So this is his proposal. He is recommending the Principal Financial Group, and we can pay less per month and get additional service. So the life insurance policy will go up from 30,000 to 50,000. The short-term disability, the maximum payout will go up to 1,500 from 1,000. Long-term disability will go up to 5,000. It used to be 2,500. So we also will have the advantage. He is very good about being able to intervene on our behalf when should anything ever go awry. So I feel confident that this policy will fill our needs. So I'm hoping you can.
Kind of seems like a no-brainer.
This one looks like a win-win, and we are glad
So if
to.
you have any questions, let me know.
How
And
many employees does this affect?
this affects all of the full-time employees. I want to say 14.
14?
Yeah.
So that's over $100 a person you're saving. That's good.
What does it mean by volume? That's the volume of
I think that's the
total.
payroll volume. Yeah. Some weird insurance thing that they do.
Insurance.
I mean,
Yeah.
is there any downside? to
I
this
don't-
that
I
you
don't
can
think so,
see that-
no.
I mean, I don't.
So I'm hoping you guys can vote for this.
Yeah, the inefficiencies, that it was something I had not been aware of, but when Mary Jo started describing what they've dealt with. This really does, it's a wonderful thing when we have a total win-win-win option. So we need a motion on this, Mary Jo. This is something that will require us to take official board action. So I will entertain a motion.
Make a motion to move to Principal Financial Group for life, ADD, short and long-term disability.
A motion by Chehevitz and supported by Studemeyer that we move to the Principal Financial Group. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed by saying no. The ayes have it, and we have taken care of that detail, which I applaud the staff for giving us an easy choice tonight.
What will this take effect?
We'll have some other things to discuss. I'm really glad that this one was as easy as it is.
June.
Now, I believe we're at item 7, which is our committee reports. And I don't know, do we have anything in the building committee to discuss? I'll ask Joy and also ask Mary Jo.
We have automated bathroom door openers now, so I'll check them out on the way out.
We're gonna go, all have to go.
I like it.
Good. Good.
It looks nice. I mean,
No touch.
yeah. It looks really nice. We're really good.
Very good. Very good. That's something we've been talking about week after week, month after month. Anything else that we have to think about in the future with the building right now?
Keeping an eye on the bushes in the parking lot that are brown.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, our landscaper was hoping that they would come back. So, and some of them do have some green on them, so we're kind of keeping an eye on them. So I don't know if it's just too cold this last winter or
Yeah,
the issue with salt or what the issue is, but
sometimes bushes.
I lost a couple too.
yeah, so we might need to replace those.
Okay. Well, it is good to see spring. Taking springing in our landscaping. And we'll hope those bushes come along. If that's, then we'll move to item B, which is the bylaws committee, Linda.
No report at this time.
And item C, which is the finance committee, Tanya.
So, included in your packet is the, third quarter budget report. So, you'll see here, we start off with our revenues. And our 24-25 budget total for revenues is the $2,734,000 million kind of midway through the page. And then you'll see our which is our 12-month budget. And then you'll see next to that, the column that shows our 9-month budget, which is the $2,050,500. And then next is the 9-month actual, which is the $2,057,138. And the variance is favorable at 6638. At the top, though, I want to call your attention to the current taxes. The budget amount is the 2.6 million and our actual is the 1,950,000. But you'll see at the bottom, there's an extra which indicates that we've actually collected the 2.6 million to date. And we anticipate some additional delinquent collections, so we'll be over budget. Just very good. So good on our revenues. So next, take a quick look at the expenditures. At the bottom half of the page. So we start off with our salaries, and our total salaries is the $1,218,000. Our 9-month budget is the $913,500. And as you can see here, we are 50,756 below the actual. And then next, we just look at totals. So the total benefits and FICA, that budget is the 414,177 for 12 months. For 9 months, it's the 910,633. And as you see here, we're a little bit over our 9-month actual. I want to say
There is an extra healthcare bill in there that's pushing it over.
so. We may have to adjust that.
Possibly, but I think it should be okay. There's like 10 months of healthcare bills for 9 months.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
And next, we have books and acquisitions. Our 12-month budget, 275,000. 9-month budget, the 206,250. And our actual right now is 54,000 under budget. But I think we usually catch up, at least get pretty close to our budget. Contracted services, again, we are under budget. And then for our total supplies, we are under budget. And then on the next page, starting with our professional services, you'll see our audit cost, which is the first one. Our budget for the 12 months is the 9,500. Our 9-month actual is 7,125, and we're currently 1,450 over our 9-month budget. And I'm not really sure if there'll be any additional.
That will be
That's
the
year.
total
That's the
bills.
annual total.
So
that
we
we should be
okay, yeah.
Yeah, you got a packet, okay.
So if you look at our total professional fees, the budget for 12 months, 1,000. The 9-month budget is 37.5, and right now we are 10,402 over budget. Looking at our bank fees, again, we are under budget by the 2,181. For our dues, we're under budget 2,957. And if you look at our total contracted services, our 12-month budget is the 107. Our 9-month budget is the 80,250. And we are currently close to 15,000. We're at 14,882 under budget. And that's just the 9-month budget. So by the time we get to the end of the year, fiscal year, total telephone and telecommunications budget is 31,000 for 12 months, 23,250 for 9 months. And again, we are under budget this time by 9,715. Total insurance, the budget is 38,000. Our 9-month budget is 28,500, and we are under budget by 12,601. Our utilities, our budget is 86,000. Our 9-month budget is 64,500, and we are currently 28,000 under budget. And I know this is one, every time we look at it, we're like, maybe we should lower it, because we're still trying to figure out what that, new normal is gonna be. So you might actually start lowering that for next fiscal year. If you look at total printing and publications, the budget here is the 24,000.
Excuse me, Tanya, on repairs and maintenance, we're
Oh,
a
I'm
little
sorry.
over.
Yep, I missed that. Thank you. Under
Um,
repairs and maintenance, the 12-month budget is the 90,000. And the 9-month budget is the 67,500. So, and I don't know if that's maybe related to our new.
There's been some other things on the construction has done for us. That's something that, next year is budget. But next month's meeting is budget meeting, so I'm actually gonna be looking at amending this year's budget to increase the repair and maintenance budget.
Okay.
So we'll watch it, but yeah, so right now we are at 8937.
It's an extra cost with the flagpole. Like.
It's like,
That's smoke.
Still,
I thought it was smoke detectors, but it was for the vape thing too.
yeah, that hasn't hit yet.
Oh, that, oh, okay.
Now, is this where our new doors would hit as well, or? would this-
That's gonna be in there too, yeah.
Right, so I'm kind of.
And I'm trying to figure out how to reflect that in the budget, because you had voted to take that money out of the restricted fund for capital projects.
So we're good on total printing publications. For postage, we are 2,106 under budget. And then for our hardware software, we are under budget here as well. Last page.
Regarding hardware and stuff, even though we are under budget now, that might be another item that will be amending next one, because we're been putting in some. It depends on when the bills hit, everybody. All of the public computers are 5 years old, so we're.
Are they?
Replace them.
honestly, I'm like Maria, okay, minute, but it's a new building. The stuff is 5 years old. Goodness me.
And under miscellaneous, we have travel and meetings. Under budget, miscellaneous, we are under budget. New equipment and office furniture. I'm actually surprised we're. Budget. So maybe we might post something from that particular.
Yeah.
Okay. And then for other, we're also under budget. So overall, for total expenditures, we are under budget by the 267. And then when you add, we have just over 6,000, that we are favorable on our revenues. You'll see that for the year, we're 267.
That's very good.
Mary Jo, what about is there a time limit on these computers, or like even if you don't have any issues, if you've had them longer than say 5 or 6 years, do they then have to all be replaced, or can you kind of stagger them? And replace a few at a time.
We could do a few at a time too, but we've got the money we basically do have the money in the budget. We know that this is gonna happen every 5 years. And it's probably have to-
Okay.
But there are a couple other things that are hitting also, so, part of the reason we're replacing all of them, we need to replace, some software as well, is that these makes more sense to do everything at the same time. So that makes-
Makes them easier to maintain too
Yeah.
if they're all the same.
Yeah,
Is there any value in the ones that we are replacing?
we are looking into, possibly selling those to pay, like putting a price on, like a small price on them. and
Yes.
Selling them to pay the public, anybody who's interested, yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if the company that was giving us new would. Okay.
We can recycle them as well. Usually you have to pay to recycle them, but we will try. No, we will try, we will try to, yes, we will try first.
Is there any
See if anybody- yeah.
donation option?
We'll explore that.
Yeah, let's explore.
schools too.
Yeah, let's explore you getting a good.
Is
use.
there also any advantage to rent or lease computers? I know they do that with. They used to do
I
that
think
with
it's still-
copy Machines.
Yeah, it's still cheaper to buy them, yeah.
Okay.
Well, the good news is that we have the money.
Yeah.
to take care
Of
of it.
course.
We have a few other items, committee reports, and we have some other business here in a minute, but, thank you, Tanya, that was, I think, the bulk of our committee reports business. Outreach, do we have anything yet, Maria?
Nothing to report this.
Okay, personnel,
Not at this
Linda.
time, no.
Okay, and policy, Dan.
No report.
Okay, that's as expected, and our art committee has no report this month either. So we can move to accounts payable. And we have quite a list. The check signers have been I am one of them. We've been very busy this lately. We're paying a bunch of people, a bunch of stuff. So if there's any questions about what we're paying for, now is the time.
We have paid a portion of the BSNA software, that's the accounting software. That's another reason why we'll be probably increasing that budget line item.
And our window cleaning people are named Fish. So it wasn't that we were cleaning fish. We're cleaning the window.
How often is that done?
Twice a year.
Okay.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve the accounts payable.
There is a motion by Priest and a second by Chehevitz that we approve the accounts payable as presented. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed by saying nay. We have no negative votes and we have approved all these expenses that we incur in order to keep in business. So thank you very much. That's the bulk of our business. However, in our director's report, we have a couple of thorny items for us to discuss, and our director will lead us in those discussions. Mary Jo?
I'm not sure what chapter this is in the penal fine saga.
Thorny is
But we did receive an official letter from Wayne County late last week. With a description of the issue, a summary of the issue, as well as an invoice for the unpaid penal fines. Have you guys had a chance to look at this before the meeting?
I did, our grammar people might not love it.
Well, yeah. And I did run this by our library's attorney. And as I noted in my written director's report, I do agree with their corrected numbers. They match my numbers. It had been an issue that there were a couple of discrepancies, so they did correct those. I am confident as our attorney that moving forward, that, you know, now that they know that, are aware of this issue, that this is not going to happen again.
You think?
I think everybody's
Do
on.
you
it.
have a high level of confidence with that?
But
So-
no further explanation, right? Okay.
So Mary Jo, I mean, if they were using this, just a question, if they're using the same formula to come up with these fines over all these years, how come some of the years we were to the plus side and other years we were to the negative side?
Like, how come we owed and how come we are
Yeah.
owing?
Right,
Yeah, that's, yeah.
it seems strange, doesn't it? You know, some years they owe us money.
They were,
Well,
they were calculating it based on what the local court took in for our community. But what they should have been doing was calculating it based on a per capita of the county population as a whole. So that's why there are discrepancies every year, and sometimes it's under and sometimes it's over.
Well, the 2018-19 are.
But 18 and
really
19 are
scandalous.
really,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think there's, yeah.
But when the guy retired.
Valley.
Well, it is.
But you're not gonna get an answer.
No.
And if I remember back, a couple meetings back, you sat down and looked at all these numbers, right? You and some staff. You felt very confident that this is really the number that we feel as though is.
This one is, there were two
Right.
numbers that were a discrepancy,
Right.
and I am confident that these numbers based on.
But we still don't have assurance of
Well, the Library of Michigan has been exploring some processes and procedures to put in place on their own, online. you
they
know, for
haven't
the-
been in place
yeah.
yet.
I'm sure they will be. You know, nobody wants this to happen. Nobody does, yeah.
But we.
You know, it's like now that we know how it's supposed to be and what to look for, I think it will.
I'm sure there's probably a lot of eyes looking at it,
Yeah.
like you said.
But we said we wanted to just pay it off, or were we going to get into a payment agreement?
I think we should just pay it off.
I mean,
Okay,
unless the payment agreement is no interest.
there's no interest one way or the other, but it would be nice to not have to worry about it anymore.
Just to get it done.
You know, and in the interest of the libraries who are owed money, it would be nice to make them whole.
Is there, I mean, what kind of processes do they think they are gonna have to going forward?
I can ask them.
Oh, okay.
I can't guarantee that they will. Answer me, but I can certainly ask a quick question.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean, they should be
mean,
held
yeah.
accountable for something, there should be something in writing, honestly, I mean, not just something verbal, you know, over the phone, there should be a policy that's been written that says, hey, this is what we're gonna do.
And this is what happened.
To make sure this doesn't happen again, I mean, something that's, you know, black and white.
2017 and 18 are just shocking. So I
We
mean,
didn't have it.
yeah, what if you didn't have it?
Well, there are libraries, I think that don't have it,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't have it.
right?
Well, that was why the Library of Michigan's original proposal was to just, you know, for them to just. Any of their penal fines moving forward would go towards paying off what they owe. But we are in a position where we don't have to do that.
Some libraries this might be tough, but
Yeah.
wasn't it the smaller libraries who were getting it? I can't remember. This first.
The ones that were not in the communities where the courts were, it does. If you
I don't remember.
Romulus got hit the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got overpaid the worst, right?
I suspect it has to do with the speed trap by the airport.
It's got me once.
So they got some of your money.
Only
What
once.
year was that? 2018?
And they, if you go to court, they offer, if you paid more, it's like double,
Yeah.
you won't get any points, so it works.
Yeah.
And without getting into the weeds too much, I think part of it had to do with how, like, how the traffic ticket was applied. Did they use the state penal code to apply it? In which case, I think it was, everything was calculated correctly on that. I think these were the local civil fines, so the local civil fine was applied. I think that's where the problem ended up happening, I suspect.
You really, but there's no way to know whether they make a mistake going forward. Yeah. I mean, if we have to pay it. I don't know what else you would do, but it's.
So the
kind-
last, the corrected for the numbers from 2024, the Library of Michigan posted that spreadsheet online, and it's looked a little to be a little bit more of a comprehensive spreadsheet than I think what we had seen before.
Is there any read on what the other libraries are doing?
It runs all over the place.
does.
There's some are probably going.
Depending on what they're.
The ones
What
that
they're
are, some are getting,
finances
some
on.
are benefiting and
Yeah.
getting money back.
Sure.
Right, but the ones who, there are a couple other libraries that are looking at just paying it all off and being.
Right. I mean, I know that it's.
Our attorney basically said that, I mean, you know, you could potentially fight it, it would probably end up costing like, in attorney fees would probably cost half of what we
So
owe.
there's no
in attorney
benefit in
fees,
waiting. No benefit to us.
No, but
The other thing to remember is that this payment doesn't go to the county, doesn't, it's not like they're benefiting from making
It's
the
getting
mistake.
redistributed.
It goes to libraries. So holding back our money potentially could make it difficult for some sister libraries.
Now, no one is fighting this, right? Nobody's gonna fight.
I don't know,
Oh,
possibly. There's probably some libraries that will. I think, it's everybody's doing something different, a little bit different, I think.
and we feel as though there's no
Can you,
possibility that the state is gonna just.
can you write it
Yeah,
up so that if anything gets,
The state does.
so if you pay it off, can we put an asterisk there that says if this ever gets resolved and there's a settlement of some, we should get that. Are they gonna be held liable, in the future?
Well,
Your other option is to engage in some kind of payment plan with the county, so if you.
Yeah.
if you feel like we wanna see what's gonna break.
Well, did Tanya say, she said no interest, is there interest on that?
No.
No. Okay.
Why couldn't we pay this out of future fines as we go through the year? Why can't that be paid back with a?
We would probably be paid back in about. I'm trying to remember what the estimate was, I wanted to say 5 years, 4 years.
So the penal fines estimated 39,000.
Yeah, so let's call it 36 to be sure, so 36,000 a year.
And that changes.
Yeah, that's just.
Year by year.
So yeah, so probably about 3 or 4 years. You wanna do it that way? We could do, I mean,
Kind of in favor of that.
we could make a good faith effort prior to that, just so they know that we're,
Take it out of our penal fines.
well.
That means that, so what are they doing for the libraries that they owe a lot of money? Are they just? To me, they sort of. Or you kind of were meeting, you were coming together as a group, this, now
Everything,
you're all
yeah,
divided out and
everything,
nobody
yeah.
knows.
Well, there was never a solution as a
Yeah.
group. That was
Yeah.
never offered and discussion was that every library should get their own lawyers and that
Right.
if you wanna
Once
work
Library
this out in the
Michigan will
courts.
The Li-
then
the
it
Library of
becomes
Michigan
more
solution was probably the best, I mean, you know, they really looked at this globally and tried to find a solution that they thought was the best for everybody involved.
And I just wonder if there's litigation when this, you know, if something happens during litigation.
And you've already paid
And
everything
you
off.
paid it, you know,
nothing's
you're,
gonna- But if you've got in
you're kind of.
advance that you've got money you still have to pay, you may
Right.
have some leverage. Certainly not a lawyer.
No, me neither.
I'm thinking my own household budget, how would I handle this?
Right.
That
I mean, I know it's,
We can inquire about them. You know, see what they say, because they don't really go to.
would be doing our due diligence,
Right.
I
it's
think,
just a-
is to
inquire
say,
about what that looks
you
like.
know, this isn't our money, this money, we wanna do the right.
and.
Do you want me to propose to them that we enter into a payment agreement where they take our future penal fines?
That's just my suggestion, I'm putting it on the
Okay.
table.
Is that more
I
work
don't
for
know How the
you?
rest of the group feels about it.
I mean, I know you'd like to just,
No, we just have to make sure that we zero it out of our budget every year until we're paid.
And we hope their the penal fines are correct going forward, because then you got a bigger mess.
let's not go there.
Yeah.
That gives me a headache.
Who would
Yeah.
track that? Would that be something that, I mean, spreadsheet wise, is that something that has to be done here, or is there somebody officially that's?
Well, we would
monitoring
look
that?
at, yeah, we would look at what they report to the state and then we look at the population numbers and see, yeah.
Do we know the formula now?
I think it has to do with how much money is collected. I mean, it's how much money is collected divided by the Wayne, population of Wayne County.
So it should not be
So,
that hard. to
Should not be,
pick.
no, if anything, this should be easier because
Okay.
it's very,
Yeah.
actually very basic.
Yeah.
So the way they had it was not, and that's probably why it slipped through all those years, because it seems so complicated.
And now they're gonna have people watching them,
Yeah,
so.
I kind of like the idea of getting it over with. And not having this mess to worry about, but I am amenable to the group, to the thought of the group. And it does look like there's some reluctance, you
Well,
know.
we wanna be financially responsible. So, what do you think, Tanya?
I mean, I think I already blurted what I thought, like, hey, you know, there's no interest. Pay it on time, but if that's a lot of work on us,
Yeah,
you
we don't
know,
want it to be a pain in the neck,
yeah.
you know,
I don't
all the
want
time.
great Trouble.
If it's something that's gonna be easy, just zero it out every year. What we would have gotten, put it on there, so maybe that wouldn't be so, I mean, that doesn't sound so hard, but I don't have to do it, so.
Well, how much time do they, you probably don't look into this, but is there an amount of time or like a time limit by which they need to refund the library that are owed money? Because if we're taking time paying ours, that's more time.
Yeah.
Other libraries
Are waiting.
Yeah.
It is that thought about that it's other libraries that are the
Yeah.
ones.
But are
That,
they?
that's kind of what
yeah,
makes
but
me
we don't
want
have any
to.
idea how that's working, whether they're just gonna pay it out
Yeah, we're not
forward or whether they're gonna dish it out as they get it in. We don't
So
really
we
know.
can't really take that into consideration,
Yeah, because we don't really know.
right?
They should just pay those libraries, but I'm sure it's not in their budget,
Right.
and for some of them, that's significant.
Is that a feasible option?
To just for you, come in future penal fines to this, that's feasible.
Do we have to vote on
Yes. Everything's gonna vote, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
it? Is this something we wanna vote on now, or do we wanna think about it? Do you wanna
Do you
do a
wanna
little more
find out if that's
research?
even an option?
Well,
This is a,
Answer by
this is a
30
payment
days.
plan.
That's
Yeah.
30 days.
Not that-
Yeah,
We do have to.
I know.
You could propose that we enter into a payment plan and that you are suggesting
Yeah,
that's taken out of future penal fines.
yeah.
That way they have something to go with.
Which will
whatever
change
forward-
every
yeah,
year.
right.
So,
And then it would take approximately
you-
5 years to pay off.
We're
We're
probably
guessing.
less than that, but yeah.
Okay,
So somebody wants to make a motion.
So I motion that we make, that we forego future penal fines in order to pay off until we pay off the, 122,733.64 cents. 122,733.64 cents.
so once we do this, this is the way it's gonna go. We can never change it, never go back.
I mean,
I'm just like,
Question though.
no, I just wanna make sure, like. If it turns out to be a major headache, or if it turns out that, it's taken a long
proposing to do
time.
this, but Mary Jo talked to them, and if they say,
Yeah.
no, we want a payment plan of
Yeah. okay.
divide this into 5 years, and that's what your payment plan
This
is.
is what we'd like to do.
Yeah.
You come back to us and say, this is not gonna work. Reconsider. I really would like to do it this way, because it seems financially responsible. So, but if it's not, it's too much.
Well, it's just, it's taken this long for this to get figured out, that,
They can wait.
they can.
Okay, good, all right.
They've
So I
done
feel
this
better
a
about
bit-
this vote.
They've had 10 years
I don't
to
think,
mess
yeah,
up.
I don't think
I don't think anything
they're not gonna come break my
can't be
kneecaps.
undone either.
I hope not. Okay. All right, so we have a motion. Right?
does it need to be worded separately or?
So motion by Stonemeyer
Right.
and
I'll support it because I had a lot to say about it. And I agree.
support by Priest.
Yes.
To forego future penal fines until the $122,733.64 is paid off.
Yeah.
All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. All those opposed by saying no. I'll say no.
You are?
Yeah, because we've never disagreed. We've always had unanimous.
I wanna say
everything.
no too.
You
Really?
do?
Why, just because you think
I
it's
just
too much
wanna
of a
get
You
pain?
don't want to pay it all?
I want to pay it off and get it. And you
Well,
want.
you guys
I-
are on
I-
opposites.
I do want to pay, I don't want Mary Jo to have to
Oh.
deal with that, but also I don't wanna create more undue stress for other libraries.
But we don't know. if
But we
that's
don't know
gonna
how they're
happen.
gonna get paid though.
Yeah, we don't know.
If they would even get.
That's an unknown quantity.
Yeah.
But
I'm
the
sure
motion
I'm sure
would
you can
still-
come back later and say, hey, we changed our mind, we wanna pay it all up right now.
That's
Yeah.
just a
That's
board
what I wanted to
decision.
know.
Boards can make
Okay.
different
Yeah.
decisions.
I wanted to know that.
We
I
can change
so
our
now I'm more
decision.
comfortable.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, because if
Yeah.
it really is too much of a nightmare to do it, we don't want that for
Gotcha.
you.
Okay.
Right,
But we
Yeah, that's
do
fine
want to
with
be
me.
financially
that's
responsible,
fine.
period.
Are those still your, are you two still
Still wanna do
voting
that?
no, or?
Because we.
well, it passes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Let it pass.
Sound
Yeah.
like.
Still, you're still in order, you.
Never had a vote where we could do it unanimously.
Well, because
My
we talk
goodness.
everything to death before we.
Why
vote.
So I support.
Okay, so only one, only one.
So.
Oh, only one. Is that me?
Yes.
It was a long distance.
I wasn't, yeah, but it is just to get the darn thing over with, it's my thing, but anyway. That's all right, I'm all for the democratic process. So, That's the big fun in the director's report.
We have another.
Is there another thorny issue? I don't-
No, there's a nice issue.
Oh, okay.
What's the other?
A nice issue was the visit by the library
The,
association.
yeah, the president of the American Library
Oh, yeah,
Association.
really nice stuff. Now we're on to the regular directors.
Before we can move on, thank you very much for
That was nice.
the discussion and
Yeah.
trying to figure all of this out. I do appreciate that.
Sure, we figured
And
it
I
out.
even
Well,
think she may be.
We gave it our best shot.
So anyway, the president of the American Library Association visited our library. And, we have librarians and directors and people from all over,
Nice turnout.
all over Southeast Michigan came, a couple people came, I think, from Indiana, and we had the, the director of the library network came, and the state librarian came, and so. And she was very, very, very good, very inspiring, so it's just really nice to have her here. She really enjoyed it, she, did a little story time after our talk, and so I think she had a lot of fun with that. Got to take a tour of our library, she asked lots of questions and took lots of pictures. So,
Oh.
yeah. So that was just a very positive thing, and shout out to Nick Kenya, one of our
Yeah.
librarians for putting all that together, so it was just an awesome program for
And
us.
several of you on the board were able to attend, and shout out to all of you as well.
It was,
It was really, really nice.
it was very nice, very nice.
And she talked about her Native American heritage, which was very interesting.
Yeah.
And,
I have had big hopes. Nick Kenya has made another friend in high places. Nick Kenya and her daughter Naima met the Librarian of Congress a few years ago at Taylor, and then they went down to Washington to the Library of Congress, and she welcomed them, and I had always hoped we could bring her here. So I guess, my ire about the loss of the Librarian of Congress,
I
which
know.
is nothing we can do anything about, but
and if you've never been there, that place is.
I
So
am, yeah, anyway, Kenya has been our little engine about getting around to the leaders of the library world. So I'm glad she was able to bring the ALA president here.
So, the Institute of Museum and Library Services,
Another discouraging issue.
the news is all over the place on this, but basically they've been sued by a couple of different entities and have lost. To date, so restraining orders have been issued by, two different district courts against this.
Against the executive, right?
Yeah,
Against the executive order.
against the executive order, yes. The Library of Michigan has received some correspondence from the IMLS, they only have a couple remaining staff members at this point, but basically, one letter, I think, said they expect a 50% cut, another letter said, no cuts. So I don't think they know what they're doing.
Well, then
So we're-
it's like if it gets taken out of the budget,
So,
then that's.
but the budget that was proposed, was zeroed it out entirely, so we just don't know right now, so I do have a couple of articles in your board pack that kind of going into more detail explaining it. The Library of Michigan will, their priority is going to be Mountcat. So saving that will be the first priority, is trying to figure out how to do that. And then if there's any money left, that's spent on the database, some of the databases.
We always have our director's report is always a highlight of our meeting, and there's always so much good news going on in this library. But, I don't know, for me, the thorny issues on the federal level have supplanted the little silly penal fine issue. So I'm so upset about the firing of Carla Hayden and the issues with the Institute of Museum and Library Services that, I don't know, it's hard to function, but.
So
Why she was fired? Why was she? No reason?
No reason.
No reason.
No.
They fired the head of the copyright office.
Oh,
Yeah.
So we have a display, you may have noticed it on your way up the stairs, we have a display from the Automotive Hall of Fame, so please, if you can, take a chance to, take a look at that, we had a very interesting program from them. It's on, black leadership in the automotive industry.
really good.
The program was very interesting, the women who spoke were very well versed and really knew their details.
Yeah, this is an award-winning exhibit, and I'm really excited about it. So if you get a minute before you guys go, to look at it. To go with it, I am next month got a African American trivia night, history trivia night. So, yeah. So
How did your letters program go?
I'm sorry.
Your letters program that you did?
It went really well. We had about, I think there was about 12 or 13, not bad for last minute notice. It was requested that I do it again.
Yeah, it really
So
sounded, I
will do
couldn't
it
go,
again.
but if you ever have it again, I will really try. to
Yeah,
go.
yeah, I will definitely do it again.
Sounds
so much fun.
fascinating to me.
Yep, and there were some good letters and it was hard to choose and there's tons more, so.
Did we decide to put a letter in the time capsule?
I
wonder
have a,
if we
I wrote
should.
a
Yeah.
letter and put it in the document.
Just maybe from a person in the town, or I don't know.
Yeah,
Cause I think it sounds really interesting to actually hear from somebody who was living at that time.
at that time,
know.
yeah, and what's going on in
Was that during the pandemic?
yeah.
Yeah, we put a one of our
Put a mask
library
in there.
masks in there.
Yep,
Yeah,
we sure did.
So we do have some good programs coming up that our youth serv, all of our librarians are gearing up for a summer reading program. We have programs for all ages, adult, kids and everything in between. So I will be giving you more information about that in next month's board packet. We're also having a lot of schools coming through on school tours, so. And we have, coming up this Saturday, we've got a Shelter Pet Cafe program, Cat Cafe from, Friends of Michigan Animal Rescue. So we're looking forward to that. Up north, an architecture road trip, photography. So, yeah. Talk about all the different, the different facades in Michigan. And architecture. So, some of our ongoing programs, the Memory Cafe is still very popular. And then we have, actually a former staff member of ours is coming back to do a program on, artificial intelligence and introduction to AI.
You mean A1?
A1, yeah.
That was so stupid.
Take so paper, no. The bottles of A1, just give it.
So, and then I put this in, the Juneteenth program, even though this is gonna have, I might put it in next month's, packet too. But
Oh, well, I'm glad to
program
have
coming
the-
up on June 23rd.
glad to have the free notice, glad we're doing that.
Do we do anything with the early childhood center?
The
one over by the school?
No, we don't have anything formal, but we do.
We do,
They come.
they come,
The
Yeah.
nice summer reading program.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, they announced at school board meeting, they'd be here for their summer.
good.
Oh, good, good.
Good.
I have a Katie's gonna be right along with.
All right.
I have a question on
Okay.
on the CERC. Does that include downloadables? I'm sure I've asked this. Before.
Yes.
It does. Okay. Love to know our wireless is going up.
The internet use or
Wireless use. I don't know if you can. Because
Let me ask,
that, but-
yeah, let me ask.
Because your internet use is going down, but I'll bet your wireless is
Yeah.
going up.
And I know we do track it annually for the state aid report, so
Yeah.
I can go
Oh.
with that.
Oh, that's good.
I'm interested in Google too, because we're going into the next budget year. Just wondering how much it's gonna use. And whether it needs to go.
We're always increasing that budget. We're always increasing. Yeah.
Well, as I said, the director's report is a highlight of our meetings and our director never fails to provide us with really, with a lot of information. And on this particular time, she has to also share with us some information that's a little bit of a headache, but I really
We're a
appreciate it.
tough board, we can handle.
We
it.
can handle it. And, are there any other questions to Mary Jo? I just thank you again for giving us as good information as you have, and for the program, to the whole organization, that kind of programming that we've been able to sustain. With that, item 9 is complete, and we are on item 10, which is trustee comments. And I will let people go, ooh, I have something. Who has something? We're gonna call on everybody anyway.
Well, I'll start.
Go
I'd
ahead.
like to, I guess go back to the session where we had the the jazz night that we had,
I thought so.
and I really enjoyed that. I've been to several of them, but for whatever reason, I don't know why, but I thought this one was the best. Maybe it was the band, I don't know. But it was really, really well, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I also,
They had their trumpet player with them, and we've had them here before, but
He's been with them a couple of
he hasn't
times.
always. been with them.
He's so
Sometimes,
awesome.
sometimes he comes. and
Yeah,
sometimes
when
doesn't.
he comes,
I didn't
that,
get to come this
Yeah.
time.
that,
but he's
that,
really- he's really-
well, he certainly added another dimension
Yeah.
to that group, but
Yes.
the core group has been here.
Yeah.
before.
Well, then-
Phil,
Phil Hale, and
They've had the guy, the
he-
trumpeter.
he brings together the people. The first time he came, he had that same trumpeter. And then he's been here a couple of times without him, so when they are able, it's when he's able to get them all to come, but he brings in good people anyway.
a couple of
But that was
times I
great.
looked over and I seen Sharon over there, but she was, I thought she had a fish on the line a couple of times. And I mean, she was just going and going, and I need to tell you, I thought she was gonna get up and start dancing.
I had a good time. My chair dancing is my
Yeah.
thing these
I
days.
tell you what, if I was grading chair dancing. There's no doubt about that.
Well, thank you,
She was very
Dan.
good. And I also enjoyed our guest speaker that we had for the session, the Michigan, or I can't remember what we called it, but
American Library
the
Association.
American Library Association. I thought that was fabulous. Your staff done an outstanding job putting that together, and I just think it went off very well, including the tour that I had with Amy. I thought that was very nice. She done a great job. So a couple of really nice events here at the library. And that's what I got to say.
Who's next?
Well, I'll just reiterate, same thing about the library, American Library Association president. She was really good, and her theme was "We All Belong," and just talked about how important libraries are and librarians. I think it's such a needed thing. And she talked about how many places she's been. She's going all over. I think she'd already been to 33 or something. And so she's really carrying the message that we need to have.
I just thought it was quite an honor for her to
Come here.
stop
Oh, yeah.
talking about
I think so,
all the
too.
libraries. I thought that was
Yeah.
a really nice honor.
Joy? And looking so thoughtful.
One of the things that she said I can't, I won't remember how she said it, but it was something to the effect of that they make decisions as a group that, from her Native American background, that
Okay.
it's not a dictatorial type of.
Hierarchy,
Yeah.
yeah.
You might remember better how she said it than I can remember, but I was like, it's just exactly the opposite of what's happening.
What's
in
going
our
on now?
country right
That's,
now.
that's the feeling.
But
I
it
got.
is just what we did in this board meeting. So.
Impressed me too.
Maria?
Well, I'm looking forward to, I've been in a cocoon teaching and semester's finally over, summer's coming, so looking forward to being able to participate in more programming that you folks have been participating in. I'm looking forward to it. Or the things lighten up for me in the summer, so.
Can I add one thing?
Mhm.
Or it's really more of a question. Mary Jo, we talked about strategic planning, do we?
And that's a Maria thing.
Oh,
Well,
all right, all right, all right.
Now's the time that.
Maybe
It's
your
been a while
talking
since
was what made me, I was like,
Yeah.
I know that's somewhere in the future.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
gave Maria, I ordered the book from the American Library Association on strategic planning. I gave Maria
Okay.
a copy,
Okay.
so yeah.
So I'll be diving
Yeah.
into that.
I'm on page 18. I get getting interrupted, so.
And Linda, you said you're gonna.
Absolutely, yeah.
That'll be exciting. That'll be a lot. Yeah, that'll be a lot. Good news. So Alma or Tanya, which one wants to go first?
I can go first.
Okay.
So on a personal note, earlier today, the Great City Council approved the mayor's recommendation to appoint me as the first female CFO for the city of Detroit.
Oh
my God, right.
I always thought that was coming. I started to text you. I don't want to jinx anything. Good, wonderful. That's wonderful news. That was today.
That was today.
Hot off the wire.
That won't be affected by any transitions or anything.
It shouldn't be, I mean, I guess it depends on who becomes the next mayor.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be kind of hard.
There you go. I love it.
That is a great honor. It's a great honor on our community and on our library, but they are lucky. They are the ones. They are lucky to get you, Tanya. Congratulations.
We're lucky to have you.
Yeah. Don't leave us though.
Yeah.
Don't leave us. Thank you, Alma. We're so happy to have you here with us and we're working you too, overworking you.
Nothing really.
Nothing to report. Just glad to have you here. Thank you. Well, I'm kind of with Alma. I'm glad to be here. I don't wanna, I've had a wonderful week and some travels and I'm trying to get over this cold and I'm glad that we did the heavy lifting we did tonight on issues that are a little bit difficult, but we're up to the task. So I appreciate this group and I appreciate that I can call on Dan.
Madam Chair, make a motion that we adjourn this meeting.
That it's moved.
I will second.
It's supported by many. And it is approved. Our meeting is adjourned.